Hey, Judge. Okay, we're going to begin a joint Nueces County, City of Corpus Christi COVID press briefing. And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Peter Zanoni. I'm Corpus Christi City Manager. I'm going to begin today's press briefing, and we have two other persons that'll speak after me. That includes our City County Public Health Director, Annette Rodriguez. And then with us today is County Judge Barbara Canales. She's here to talk about the Texas National Guard testing that's taking place in Nueces County. Today they had a test operation. There'll be one tomorrow and Thursday. And she wants to inform the community because there's still some slots available. And we should take advantage of that now that it's here. This is the one that's been organized by the governor to increase testing in rural parts of the state. But all of Nueces County can take advantage of that. So County Judge Canales will talk about that. Annette will talk about additional testing sites that are ongoing. In addition to that Texas National Guard, the Coastal Bend Wellness Foundation is now testing. And Annette will also talk about how persons can access the Department of Health Services, the Texas Department of Health Services online portal that they have to help contact tracing. So you can self-report to help on the contact tracing situation. She'll talk about that as well. Okay, so I'll begin with the COVID statistics that we've been reporting every day now for going on 9 weeks or so. So every day at 4 o'clock, we look back at the past 24 hours to see if we've received any new confirmed COVID cases. And since yesterday at 4 o'clock, we have confirmed 6 new cases for Nueces County, which is somewhat of a significant number. We've been trending a couple of zeros and ones, but you can see last week we had 3, then 4. Today we're reporting 6. That brings our total from yesterday from 107 now to 113 total cases. We look at the deaths and report that out. We have 3 deaths still in Nueces County, and 2 of those are from the city, and then 1 is from Robstown, and one of the ones from the city of Corpus Christi was not living here when the gentleman passed away. He was a traveling nurse, and at the time of his death was working in Nevada, but we still need to count him here since he had a permanent residency in Nueces County. We look at the confirmed cases by gender and report that out, and it's been pretty steadily split between male, female. With 113 persons, we have 51% male, 49% female. In that 6 additional, the majority were female. There were 5 females in that last testing round. And then we look at the confirmed cases by age group so the community can understand that this virus doesn't particularly go to one age group and nobody's immune from it. And so we have 9 different age groups starting from 0 to 19 where we have 3 cases. And then 20 to 79 is where the majority of the cases are, from 20 years old to 79. And in that age category, they're pretty evenly distributed, about 15 to 20 or so. In some ages, a little bit more. And then 1 in the 80 to 89 age bracket, and then we have 0 in the 90 plus age bracket. But the key message is age is not a prohibitor to getting the virus, and everybody needs to be aware of the health measures that should be taken to make sure you don't get the virus and to minimize the spread. Testing is important. That's why County Judge Canales is here on an extra day to talk about how we can increase testing. But today in the city's labs, we tested 43 specimens, and we did have a drive-through testing site today at our joint testing site, and Annette will talk about that. But 43 samples tested in our labs, and 82 in the commercial labs that have been sent to them by hospitals, clinics, and physicians. So to date, we're now past the 3,000 mark. We've tested both the city labs and the commercial labs, 3,038 tests in total, which is a little less than 1% of the city's population. We'd like to report on not just the number of cases, that's a big number, that 113, because some persons have recovered now. It's been 8-9 weeks since we've been tracking this. So as of today, 66 persons have recovered, or 58%, and I think we have that donut slide somewhere. Here we go. So 66 persons recovered in that lighter blue, which is 58%, but that does leave still 47 confirmed active cases. In terms of hospitalizations, since we've been tracking this, 29 persons have been in the hospital with COVID-19. Today, there's just 4 in the hospital, and just one of those persons is in ICU. So the other 3 are in the hospital recovering under normal care or regular care. And then the community has asked, where are the cases? So of the 113, the preponderance is in the city of Corpus Christi, 96. The 6 new ones that we are tracking since yesterday, those are all from Corpus Christi. So 6 new from the city of Corpus Christi. We have 2 from Robstown, 7 from Port Aransas, and then 7 from rural Nueces County. So that combination makes up that 113. We did look, those 6, and we need to pull up, maybe tomorrow we'll bring that map up for the community, but we wanted to see with those 6 in one zip code or more than one zip code, because they're all from the city of Corpus Christi, and all 6 are from a different zip code, so they're pretty much evenly distributed across the city. And tomorrow I'll bring that map that kind of shows where the total cases to date are in terms of zip code across the city. That's something that is on our website, though, the Joint City-County COVID-19 webpage, that interactive zip code map. If anybody's interested today, after they view this, they can go on our website and pull that interactive map. And that's something we started many weeks ago. Okay, so that concludes my part of the presentation today. We're going to keep it kind of short. And I'm going to call Annette Rodriguez up now, who will talk about some testing, some of that contact tracing, and then the CPAP and the BPAP donations is still ongoing. We'll do that right after a Spanish translation. Thank you.
En las últimas 24 horas en el condado de Nueces se han reportado 6 nuevos casos por coronavirus, haciendo un total de 113 casos confirmados. Entre esos, 58 son varones, 55 son mujeres. La mayoría se encuentran en el rango de edades entre 30 y 39 años. En total se han llevado a cabo 3.038 pruebas entre hospitales y el Distrito de Salud Pública. De los 113 casos, 96 son residentes de la ciudad de Corpus Christi, 2 son residentes de Robstown, 7 son residentes de Port Aransas, 7 son residentes de áreas rurales del condado de Nueces. 66 de los 113 se han recuperado por completo, 47 casos continúan activos, 4 personas continúan en el hospital, 1 en condición crítica en la unidad de cuidados intensivos. A la fecha se han reportado 3 fallecimientos.
Thank you. Annette Rodriguez, Health Director. So we did have 43 specimens collected through our drive-through this morning. Not as many as our last drive-through, but that's because there are other testing options, such as the Coastal Bend Wellness Foundation, and they have a hotline. That number is 361-356-9572. There's also the National Guard, and their hotline is 512-883-2400, or you can visit texascovidtest.org. This week, they will be testing not only in Robstown, as mentioned, but also in Portland and in Ingleside and Aransas Pass. So please call ahead and get signed up for one of these locations if you feel like you have symptoms for COVID-19. The National Guard sites are allowing citizens ages 5 and older to test from any jurisdiction, and if they are one of the vulnerable populations, they can also be tested with or without symptoms. The Department of State Health Services also just added the Texas Health Trace online app, as City Manager Zanoni was talking about. The app helps to track and stop the spread of COVID-19 in Texas. On this app, if you go to www.dshs.tx.gov, on this app, you're able to ask questions and find out other types of support, like how do I get tested? Where can I get tested? There's a really nice interactive map. You can click on it and it shows where the testing sites are. what to do if you test positive. It tells you what you need to do, how you need to self-isolate, quarantine yourself, and how to get food also if you're in isolation. I'm not able to go out, so can I get food that can be delivered to me? That's just a few of the things that it's able to do for you. So again, if you go to www.dshs.tx.gov for more details, it's on the front page under COVID-19 Self-Checker. A big thank you to the community for your generous donations for a total of 163 CPAP and BiPAP machines or sleep apnea machines that were delivered. An equally big thank you to the Del Mar College faculty, the staff, and even the students to help to collect these machines and also to clean them. It's also always worth mentioning to remind citizens to continue to social distance when you go out and wear a mask, please, especially in areas of high traffic. These are just some of the practices that are essential to limiting your exposure to COVID-19. Also, again, wash your hands often. Don't risk infecting yourself by touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands, and disinfect frequently touched
The City of Corpus Christi Gas Department's Natural Advantage Home Rebate Program gives new and existing homeowners a chance at getting up to $750 in rebates.
El día de mañana se va a llevar a cabo la toma de muestras en el Centro de Exhibición Richard Borchardt y el jueves, el 7 de mayo, en el Hospital Memorial. Por favor, continúe haciendo lo que ha hecho hasta ahora para mantener bajas las cifras de personas infectadas.
Okay, let's see. Just trying to see if we're back up live. We had a little technical difficulty on our Facebook page, but it is carried on our, there we go, yeah. But it is carried, I just saw a comment that I wish the news channels would carry it, and we do have several news media here with us that carry this, so we're sorry about that, Facebook Live loss of airtime there, but we're back up. Okay, so that concludes our press briefing for today. We're here for any questions that you might have, myself, Judge Canales, or our Health Director, Annette Rodriguez. Any questions?
Are some of these tests going to be taken to with seniors that can't go out to for example, with where the National Guard is, Are they going to be going to any specific locations?
Let's have Judge Canales answer that. Take your time, Judge.
So you asked the perfect question, because that question came up today. Every Monday and Wednesday and Friday, we do meetings with the small mayors of the mayors of the smaller communities. And that was a big issue. And so as of this afternoon, we have made some arrangements. We have to get all the logistics set up, but we're going to be able to take our health department and test in the city of Bishop. There are approximately 75 people, as I understand it, that are vulnerable in one way or another, that wish to be tested, but they don't have a car, a ride, or a way to come into Corpus Christi. And so we are going to go to them. And again, this is all developing in the last hour, but I'm thinking that this is exactly why it's so important to communicate, is that we realize there are gaps, and this is one of the gaps. So we're trying to fill it, and we will go to this vulnerable population and hopefully make certain that they can receive their test in a way that's easy for them. So thank you.
Can I have it in Spanish?
Sure. La pregunta es, ¿cómo vamos a introducir las pruebas en las comunidades donde los ancianitos no se pueden venir a Corpus Christi? No tienen carro, no tienen la oportunidad a venir. Entonces, hoy decidimos que es tan importante estas pruebas en las comunidades con los ancianos, que vamos a venir a ciudades más pequeñas de Corpus Christi. Por ejemplo, Bishop. Me han mandado un recado, el alcalde, que hay más de 75 personas dentro de Bishop y Driscoll que quieren las pruebas, que necesitan las pruebas. Entonces, vamos a venir el Departamento de Salud. La directora Rodríguez me va a ayudar a hacer todo lo que es posible logistical, y trabajando junto con el condado y con la ciudad de Bishop, tratando de hacer estas pruebas el jueves en la mañana, desde las 9 de la mañana hasta las 5 de la tarde. Si alguien tiene preguntas sobre esta fecha, lo que quiero hacer es que por favor habla el alcalde, la oficina del alcalde de Bishop, o también a mi oficina, la oficina del juez del condado de Nueces, que es el número 888-0444.
So Facebook was out for a portion of yours.
Okay.
Can you just kind of hit the high
Sure.
points? Some people are commenting. Yeah.
So the high points of my message today was really to talk about how grateful we are to the state of Texas, to the Texas Department of Emergency Management, for their complete commitment to testing in Nueces County. We had a tremendous successful testing operation on Sunday at the Richard Borchard Fairgrounds. I myself was on campus and was able to witness the testing and the logistics from the Sheriff's Mobile Command Unit, and I'm thankful to all of the people that participated. One of the things you have to say is that, and that I said earlier, is how important it is to actually see in action this business of we're all working together. I said that these words are often repeated, but I absolutely can attest to the success of operations when you can say that the Robstown Fire Department, Robstown EMS, City of Robstown, including the Nueces County Sheriff's Department, CCPD, TDM, and the National Guard are all working together. And we basically planned this operation on a Friday afternoon to stand it up on a Sunday. It was incredibly successful. We're going to repeat this tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We talked about the number, which I believe is on the board. Well, actually not right this minute, but it's txcovidtest.org. You cannot test without an application. Without an appointment. And you've got to get that appointment either online are on the telephone, and the city's going to make sure that you have both pieces of information. The most important thing that you need to know is if you're a member of that vulnerable community or know somebody that is, or if you're a healthcare worker or a first responder of any kind, you need to know that you do not have to have a symptom in order to be tested under this National Guard protocol. What it's allowing us to do is to get tons of data. I mentioned earlier that data drives decision-making, and our governor has set a goal, and we must help him by meeting that goal. So by testing the way we are vigorously now from the City County Health Department, the Wellness Foundation, and now through the National Guard, we're going to meet that 1%. And in fact, my hope is that by the end of this week, we will exceed the 1% of testing for our population. It's taken us this long to get to this level, and this is what's needed in order to understand how COVID-19 is affecting our community. So with that, again, the one thing that you need to know is on Thursday, the National Guard will be using the Memorial Hospital site on Morgan Street. Tomorrow, they're at the fairgrounds. If you will make that appointment, they will let you know where to go. And again, I am truly moved by the effort the Lone Star State has made to make sure that South Texas, Nueces County, because they're testing all around us, really have the information that they need in order to make certain that we can keep our recovery moving forward. And I think that is a testament to doing what you say. And in Texas, we keep our word. And the word to the people is we were going to get testing out. And so that's what we've done this week. It's very important. And again, we urge you, if you want to be tested and you're a member of that population or you have any of those symptoms, any of them, you could just have one, you could just have a headache, you could just have fatigue, that's going to qualify. You're just going to have to call the number and you will be pre-screened, you'll be given a time, and you will have a very efficient test. And again, thank you to everybody involved. Here we go. It's 512-883.
Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
We're trying to collect as much information as we can to ensure that the resources available today, tomorrow, and 100 years from now.
And if we can get our bobwhite populations to stabilize, we ought to be able to help those other species that are never hunted or never going to be.
If you're hunting with another person, be very careful to never cross into that person's safe zone of fire.
where people don't have that information is going to be important. So the purpose of patrol is we're always vigilant for the types of issues that beaches have. We're always going to be worried about red flag days, right? So patrols are always going to be out there for rip currents and for any other types of events. But while we're at it, we could be messaging about social distancing. So that's the patrol question. And then on the access, we really think that Access Road 6 has a lot of potential, but it needs to have some maintenance done to it, and I believe that is in process now. And that's just to bring more cars to different access points. Okay, super, guys. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for today? Okay, great. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have, again, Nueces County Judge Barbara Canales will be here. Mayor Joe McComb from the City of Corpus Christi will be here as well. And stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.